you know, there's so much other shit they're doing too to the food. Put in. There's an epicite, you know, that they put in the corn and the soy now, and it's fucking. It was done by this company in L.A. and they were down in California somewhere. Epicite, EPICYTE, and it fucks with the sexual reproduction organs of fetuses and children and all kinds of shit. They're conducting like fucking mad science on human beings right now. What the fuck is going on?
Just for profit.
Even in Hawaii, and I got to tell you, I have friends that are out there and they did organic farming. Do you know that all the world's seed banks right now for GMO are fucking grown in Hawaii?
Why?
Because it's a closed ecosystem. It's closed off from everywhere else, so there's no other factors. So they go and they spray motherfucking chemtrails in the air that come down onto the fucking ground, and they can, for instance,
Wait a minute. What do they do?
They're aerosol spraying the crops.
So they aerosol spray them with some sort of pesticide?
Yeah, and they do aluminum, barium, strontium. Now, I'm going to tell you, I have friends that actually are doing this. They were organic farmers and had to give up their farm. And what they do is they make they're making the soil so acidic, the pH, that nothing will grow except for genetically modified seeds that have been genetically modified to resist aluminum and resist all this other stuff. So now,
why are they spraying aluminum? Like, where's that coming from?
It makes the soil very acidic. It changes the pH. I think aluminum has the greatest change to the soil.
And what's the benefit of them doing that?
Because then they can control the food supply. Because if you don't buy the GMO seeds, the organic farmers are going out of business in Hawaii. And this ain't no...
Wait a minute. So you're saying that they're spraying things out of the sky that poison the ground so that only organic farmers, or so that only GMO farmers can grow crops there?
Right.
Is that proven?
That's what's going on in Hawaii.
That sounds crazy, though.
Yeah,
that
but
so crazy.
Here's the thing. And I'm not saying they're going like some of these other chemtrail people, 35,000, they're spraying all the cities. I'm saying they're coming in and spraying chemicals on the ground.
But they're not doing it as a pesticide. You're saying they're doing it as a grand conspiracy to make the ground infertile for anything other than GMO crops?
Did you ever read Monsanto's? Did you ever see The World According to Monsanto?
Yes.
Okay, so what do they say? We want to control the world's food supply from seed to motherfucking... to farm to table all the way through.
Right.
We want to control so how do they do that? How do they actually make that happen? And I see it happening to farmers in Hawaii, and friends of mine are. I just did Ironman out there.
What do you see What do you see happening?
Because what they're doing, the organic papaya farmers have had to all go either give up their farm or switch to GMO papaya because none of their shit is growing. Is
that because of depletion of the soil?
No, but they say that they're spraying the fucking chemicals on the soil.
But do you know how much they'd have to spray on the soil to make it infertile? I mean, it seems to me it's much more likely candidate to the same issues that we're having in this country with monocrops.
Yeah.
That they're just depleting their soil because they're constantly growing on it.
No, but these guys are doing organic.
I had to study chemtrails. I had to study chemtrails for quite a while because I was doing a television show on them. And one of the things that I found there's a lot of malarkey in this
absolutely.
shit. And one of the things that they find is they're like, oh, they're spraying aluminum, and then when they do samples of the water, they find aluminum in the water. No, they're doing samples of sludge. They're doing samples of water with dirt. Do you know what one of the most common metals that you'll ever find on Earth is? Aluminum.
Aluminum.
Most dirt has aluminum in it. So when they're testing this water, they're testing it positive for aluminum. What they're doing is they're testing dirt. Dirt tested positive for being dirt. That's what it is.
Right.
So when they find aluminum, they say, oh, my God, they're spraying aluminum. There's no benefit to spraying aluminum on anything. It's never been proven that there's some evil government cabal that wants to spray aluminum on everything, and that's the reason why papayas don't grow right. It's way more likely that these papayas are growing in a place where they've been growing papayas for a long time and they've depleted the soil, especially dealing with soil that's really coming out of a volcano in the first place, right?
Well, I mean, I understand that aspect of it, but it's the combination of other chemicals that they're using, and here's the thing. Before these seed banks showed up over there, they never had this problem.
Right, but there was also before large-scale agriculture made its way to Hawaii as well, right? So they probably had years and years and years of doing this and getting away with it till the soil started getting depleted. Just like we have evidence of it getting depleted all over the world.
Right.
In India, they have issues with this, with monocrops, with anywhere in the world where they grow crops in the same area in these massive scales. You're going to deplete the ground of minerals and nutrients. I mean, it's just a part of the problem. And when they offer up that solution, like, hey, our genetically modified crops are better, and our genetically, modified crops are, they can survive in these harsh climates, and you can also add all of our nitrogen and our fertilizers, all our nasty shit to the soil.
And everything else around it will die when we spray, except for our crops, because we've been genetically engineered to resist. We've been genetically engineered to resist.
Glyphosate. That stuff is scary. That glyphosate shit is anything that kills everything but what you want it to. Is like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what's it doing to what you want it to? What happens to that food? What is that stuff out of that food by the time you eat it?
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I mean, when they're putting it in the seed and it comes out in the leaves and the bugs
Right.
eat the shit and it blows their stomach up.
There's a great documentary on it called What's with Wheat, where they try to break down why wheat all of a sudden became a huge problem in the American diet, whereas in the early 1900s it was nothing. And it was a slow genetic modification where they started changing the wheat itself and breeding it to make higher yields, so it's got more complex glutens in it. But then on top of that, it's the glyphosate.
Right.
The glyphosate breaks down your gut barrier. And
right.
it really...
So people get leaky gut and the rest of the issues.
Well, it kills the bacteria. I mean, this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to kill bacteria. But they don't realize your body's made out of bacteria.
Yeah.
Your body's an ecosystem of bacteria.
Right.
Yeah. It's just... The problem with the whole government is evil thing is they're just greedy.
Yeah,
they're evil because they're greedy.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
but see, here's the thing, and you saw The World According to Monsanto, and it's this revolving door policy, how they come out of Monsanto, or even what he was doing, Rumsfeld, when he was the CEO of Searle, and then so they get into the government, they pass legislation, and then they go back to the corporations to reap the benefits of the laws that they passed. So you have a lot of that going on. So I think, whether or not shit could really be what the fuck motherfuckers are saying it is in Hawaii or anywhere else, the truth is going to possibly come out eventually, or maybe not. But me personally, I tend to try to stick to locally farmed, organic. Like I go to the farmers market.
How do you get